You may not see the drastic reduction in services from the LSU AgCenter Chancellor Bill Richardson talked about on our program just a few months ago. That's because he recently received word the state will likely only cut his budget by 10% rather than the previously reported slash of nearly a third of the AgCenter's budget. Vice Chancellor Dr. Paul Carell says despite the smaller cut to the AgCenter's budget of about $3 million, the AgCenter will also have to absorb about $3.5 million in unfunded mandates such as rising health insurance costs and the retirement fund payments for AgCenter employees.
So we still have a challenge with the state budget, but it looks like and appears to be that it'll be better than the doomsday scenario we've been hearing.
Now, what may threaten services offered to you by the LSU AgCenter is a proposed mid-year federal budget cut that's going before the U.S. Senate next week. Carell says the bill, which has already passed the House, would cut funding for AgCenters across the country by an estimated 10%.
And those dollars have all been allocated for salaries for agents and specialists. So we're now currently looking at how we're going to deal with that if it passes in the Senate. We're making a pretty big educational push to the Senate to try to get something that would be less than 10% so that we don't have an additional challenge on top of the state budget challenges.
Dr. Paul Carell traveled to Washington, D.C. shortly after our interview to speak with Senators Mary Landrieu and David Vitter about restoring funds for the LSU AgCenter.